Welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliette, and if you don't know me, I have a YouTube channel which you're on, obviously. So why am I telling you that? I make videos about spirituality, mental health, and some other random topics that I choose. Basically, it's all over the place, like me. Quick announcement before we start this video. I am going to publish videos twice a week, and I'm going to keep trying to hold a regular schedule. So it's going to be from now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and this is going to be uploaded on a Friday. So I'm already not holding onto my own promise. But I am going to try to upload every Tuesday and Thursday or Friday. So it's Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And in this philosophy talk, because it's a philosophy talk, I will be talking about becoming the observer and why you should become the observer in your life. Hi, my name is Juliette and welcome to my space. I've been having a really busy week, so if this video is short or this video comes across as weird, that's why, because I am tired. But I'm excited because I didn't know what I wanted to film until today. And, well, as I said in earlier videos, I am going to talk about things that I'm going through personally because that will just translate better on the screen. I think for the last few weeks in my life, I've been really aware of my thoughts and what I think about. And we have, what do they say, 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, which are 95% are on your autopilot. So those thoughts are just generated from past experiences. So you're not really always aware of what you're thinking. Only 5% of that is conscious, or at least after you're 35. 5% of those, yes, that's it. It is, Dr. Joe Dispenza said this. He says that after you're 35, your habits are so ingrained in you that 5% of what you're thinking is conscious and 95% is subconscious, or it's the other way around, and that's just the way it is. And after 35, you have a set of habits that cannot be changed, or at least are really hard to change. After you're 35, it's just a lot harder to change your habits. Okay. As I was saying, I've been really becoming aware of what I'm thinking. And the first kind of phase is that you catch your thoughts, right? So you have an unwanted thought that you're thinking, you catch that thought and you kind of try to turn it around, but that's actually step 2, I think. Sometimes I catch a thought. Let's just say I'm in the shower, I look at a shampoo bar, and it generates a thought about a friend or someone in my life that also uses a shampoo bar, and it's an unwanted thought, completely unrelated to the shampoo bar, but the shampoo bar, I don't know how you pronounce that, but the shampoo bar generated that unwanted thought. That's how quickly it goes, and that's how aware I have become. But I'm not really into step 2 yet. So for me, step 1 is like catching the thought, and step 2 is like turning the thought around to a wanted thought. So it generates a thought. You could look at a pillow, and it could generate a thought about a dog, and that could generate a thought about another person. You know, that's how quickly the mind goes. That's how quickly the networks are, or that's how intertwined it all is. You know, that's how you have so many connections. Your brain is like a supercomputer, right? I am rambling, but I know what I want to say because I've been thinking about this. People they always say like, oh, the ego wants to protect you. The ego, the voices in your head, they want to protect you. I don't think that's true. I think that just because we came into this world that is a certain way, doesn't matter what is wrong, it doesn't matter what is right. It really doesn't matter. The world is a certain way. People think a certain way. You grow up in that world, so you think a certain way too. Every person is unique. There are so many different kinds of combinations of thoughts and everything. Like, there's no person the same, but we all kind of are biased towards the same things if we're part of a certain civilization or a culture, you know. We all have different thoughts, but also a same pattern of thoughts. Let's just say that. So I believe that there's not really, let's just call it the ego. I don't think that it wants to protect you. I just think that it is used to being negative all the time. Because in the last few weeks, it's weird that I have to say this, but I have had to make the decision. I have had to make the decision that I want to be happy, and that I want to have wanted thoughts and things that I want in my life, because I know that if I think those things, I attract those things. Because I work in retail, and I've become really much happier in the store, and I've been having so many lovely conversations with people. Like, there's not I haven't had a bad customer lately, which is so nice. So that's like a kind of a piece of evidence for you that it does work. But I personally think, and you can challenge me on this, or I don't know, I have a different opinion about this, but I don't think that the ego is trying to protect us. I just think that it's used to protecting us. I think that we're a supercomputer, that we pick up everything from other people, and it goes so subtly. Like, you don't know, if you're watching TV, you are literally programming your mind through programs. You know, you're watching programs. Or if you're listening to music, or if you're overhearing conversation, your subconscious mind doesn't really have a filter, so everything just goes through it, even if it's, in your opinion, right or wrong. So I just think that we need to relearn everything. I don't think that the ego, as I said, wants to protect itself. I just think it's used to doing that. And you can't really unlearn habits, but you can replace them. And that's also kind of a definition of a computer, isn't it? That's weird. We're just computers. We're humans. We call ourselves humans, and we have human nature, and we have feelings, but it's all just, I don't know, it's all just like running a program. Because if I know that I don't know, but in the moment I am realizing that certain things generate certain thoughts, because the network in my brain is wired that way now, I can rewire it. And it's also a really scary feeling, because it's like, wow, I'm just like a computer just going through life, just having thoughts that I just don't want because I picked those up along the way. It's weird. So, as the title of the video says, become the observer. So step 1 is catching the thought, right? Step 2 isn't turning the thought around. Let's just call step 3 the turning the thought around. Step 2 is observing the thought. Because if you don't give the thought a reaction or an emotion, and emotion just basically means energy in motion, you give it attention, you give it energy, it grows, it gains momentum, you have more of those thoughts. That's basically what happens if you give attention to an unwanted thought. You generate more of those thoughts. So if you do step 2, you just observe the thought. It 100% of the time just goes away. It just dissolves until it goes back again. You observe it, it goes away. Do that enough times. Don't give something the power that it doesn't need, and it will literally just jump so quickly out of your experience, like you will be flabbergasted. That is how quickly it works. But because we're so used to propelling bad things for ourselves, because that's what basically the entire world is, or that's what we're shown anyways. We're always like, life is hard, we need to work for money, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, love, there are no good guys out there, girls are sluts. No. I don't know, but they're not sluts, by the way. Then I am also a slut. There's always just this known feeling of like life is hard and everything sucks, you know? So obviously we're going to be wired that way. We are. Lost the point. So that's why you need to observe the thought. So you catch the thought, which is already a big step. I'm still on step 1, by the way. Then you observe the thought. It will dissolve, it will go away. Then you will replace the thought, because you can't really unlearn, as I said, habits. When I quit smoking, I believe that I didn't like unlearn smoking. I just learned not smoking. You know what I mean? So I'm not really unlearning the not smoking, I am learning the not smoking. So I'm still kind of replacing it. You're switching lifestyles, you're changing a habit. You know, I'm not unlearning it because it's still in my mind. If I were to smoke again now, cell memory is real, right? So I would need, it wouldn't be like I was smoking for the first time again. All the cells that have that memory of me smoking once in my life will become alive again, and I will be a 2-pack a day smoker again in no time, or a 1-pack. I don't know how many packs I did per day. I think 1, like 2. It's just a little bit of a exaggeration for, you know, dramatic purposes. When you become the observer, step 2, the thought will dissolve. Then you will have to replace that thought with a wanted thought, because everything in the world basically is something you want and something you don't want. And to know what you want, you have to know what you don't want. Another tip, just welcome negative so-called negative experiences, because they're not negative, they're just showing you what you don't want. But to get to a place like that's you've come a long way if you're just catching a thought, you know, if you're aware of your thoughts, which is already a really good thing, because most people aren't. But to replace those unwanted thoughts with good thoughts. Yeah. And before you know it, because when you gain good momentum with things, good energy or good emotions, or when you feel good, it goes up the vibration is so much quicker and higher than something that's negative and low. And yeah, I've been doing it lately, and I haven't been trying to do it. I have been doing it lately, and it's made my life so much more beautiful, and I'm so much more grateful for everything, and I realized that I just don't need anything. And I think that's just a really beautiful feeling, to know that I know that I'm learning through life, and that's enough. And I do have things and desires that I want, and of course I want to have a lot of money and freedom and want to be doing what I love doing. But I'm also like, it's fine where I am right now, and I hope to just find that balance between where I am now and not rejecting my reality all the time, because that just makes it a lot harder. Just finding the balance and still knowing that other reality that I really want, through having replaced those unwanted thoughts with wanted thoughts, that it will be on it, that it is on its way, and that it will be mine, because that's what I attract. And when you become the observer, that's just something that it's so powerful, because you're not your thoughts. That's basically what the book The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle, I talk about it in my podcast too with my friend Chris. He basically was sitting on a bench. I heard this story from someone else, I don't remember who, and he was observing his thoughts, and he was like, wow, there's 2 of me. I don't know who this is, but I know that it's not me. And he then realized that you are not your thoughts. You are completely separate from your thoughts. Those are just things that you picked up along the way. And I truly believe that too, that it is not your ego who's trying to protect you. It's just your, I guess, ego who has learned to protect you, who has learned all the negative things, because that's what this world brings to us. Beautiful contrast as in negative things, that you can know because of those what you want and what you don't want. And that's basically it. I want to thank you so much for watching. As I said, I have a new podcast out now. We're called the Curious Aquarians, and we talk also about mental health and spirituality and tarot cards and crystals and all the good stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Tweet me at David Dobrik, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.